start. So welcome to this side event. Today we want to share with you a journey that we've been with, where we've collaborated with a wide variety of actors to tackle the pressing issue of water scarcity. So just a bit of context before we get into the sharing. Yeah. So according to the UN World Water Development Report, which was just released this year during World Water Day, none of the SDG 6 targets appear to be on track. Yeah. As of 2022, 2.2 billion people still lack access to safely managed drinking water. Now, the other thing is 4 out of 5 people lacking basic drinking water services live in rural areas at the moment. So the challenge is quite vast in terms of, if we are to address the deficiencies in monitoring and reporting, those challenges have made it extremely challenging to generate a thorough analysis of, most of the other SDG 6 target indicators. And there are several reasons for this. So one of them is, in many cases, traditional data sources may be lacking or they're either incomplete, especially in some of the marginalized or underserved communities. So one of the ways we think this can be addressed is through citizen-generated data, which can help fill some of these gaps and provide a more comprehensive understanding of not just the social and economic issues, but also the environmental issues. Now, how citizen-generated data plays out. One of the cases in point is the guy on your screen, Salim Doyle. So Salim is one of our community data stewards. And as our data steward, his mission is to map water infrastructure points, so collecting that data in his ward in Tana River County. So this mission took a transformative turn when he discovered a dormant borehole. So what Salim managed to do was to track the developer of this borehole, and also, based on that, the developer was able to restore the functionality of this particular borehole. As a result, 30 households can now access clean water once again. So the question now is, how can we, get more people like Salim to do what they do in terms of enhancing sustainable water management? And one of the ways we think this can happen is through collective intelligence, which is just the enhanced capacity that is created when people work together, often with the help of technology, to mobilize a wider range of ideas and insights. And in our case, what we managed to do was to harness the collective intelligence of a wide variety of people and the power of digital technologies to try and solve the issue of water scarcity in Tana River County. Our value proposition in this case was that, data action that adds immediate value, not just for the county government and the national government, but also for, the communities that we serve, so the herders and the farmers. So we centered all our efforts in Tana River County, and one of the most, important resources in the county is the river itself, which is Kenya's largest river, River Tana. So the county gets its name from River Tana, and which is, sort of a paradox considering, the water insecurity challenges that the county goes through. So quick facts, it's one of the 47 counties in Kenya, 5th largest, sparsely populated with households, residing next to the river. Most of the households highly susceptible to drought and flood events. And there's also a history of resource-based conflict in the county, pitting herders against farmers and also other communities in cases of water stress. In terms of the journey that we've been through, so this can be summarized in 4 phases. One is the awareness phase, where we just introduced the idea of collective intelligence. And then we got to onboard a variety of actors into this. The other bit is the data collection, analysis, and visualization phase as well that we embarked on. And lastly, the data-driven decision-making phase, where we use the data to inform certain decisions. So this initiative involved a good number of actors who are here with us today, and we'll get to hear from them. First off is Anna Guio, who is the Deputy Director of Special Programs in Tana River County Government. And she'll share a bit about how the collaborative approach was from a county government perspective. Over to you, Anna.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anna Guia from the County Government of Tana River. I work with the Department of Ocean and Special Programs. And I'm happy to be here with you today and share on how we were involved in this process. From the county government part, UNDP came in to ensure that the collective intelligence project approach was used to undertake the project. And the host department that was directly linked to this project was the Department of Water and Energy, which is housed under the Department of Water. So the Department of Water was directly linked because they have a mandate of ensuring that there is water in the county. So that's why they were the direct users this project. The other departments that were also involved is the Department of Special Programs. The Department of Special Programs deals with preparedness, response, mitigation, all those issues. And you know that issues of water in Tana River are rampant, so it was significant that this department is also involved. The other sector was the Department of Environment and Climate Change. As we are aware, everyone, that the current status all over the world is that there is climate change issues. So it was important that this department is involved. The other one is agriculture. As a county, Tana River is an agricultural county. We must produce. So this department was also involved because for you to produce, you must have water. And water is essential for any production. So that's why the Department of Agriculture came in, because we also depend on both rain-fed agriculture and also irrigation. Irrigation comes in because of the long seasons of drought. That's why. And also livestock. Tana River also has a good number of pastoral communities. So the pastoral communities also, because of that, the livestock department came in. They also depend on water a lot because they're the ones who suffer most during the dry season. The other department is lands, physical planning, and GIS. These were the hosts. They're the ones to develop the physical map and also the digital. We are glad that we have a GIS lab in the county, and this department came handy for during the data collection, also preparation of final maps. The other one is from the parastatals working within the county. We have a National Drought Management Authority (NDMA), whose mandate is mainly on drought. So that was because Tana River is one of the arid county. They had to be part of it because their mandate is on drought. And issues of water and drought are cooperatively related. We also have the Ministry of Interior, the national government, that is the county commissioners also was involved, because that's the government at the county level. We also had other CSOs like the POSCA, who are involved mostly to give us a perspective of community participation. Because this the collective approach was not only based on the expertise part, we also wanted a contribution from the community. And that's why the POSCA came in, because they work directly with the community. The media was also involved. This was our local media, which is one of the radio stations was involved in this. It is called Roxy Radio. Voxy Radio came in because they're the ones who are directly linked with community. They convey all the messages, they have first-hand information, and the community rely on these media houses to get information. The others are the scouts. We also had a community volunteers back in called the scouts. The scouts were community-based. They are people from different villages in the county. They are spread all over from Kipini to Malapala. And these scouts had a critical role to play because they're the ones who are doing the data collection. They were the ones who were entering data from the community to the database. And the other one also is the administration from the county government and also from the national government. The county government administration, that is the sub-county administrators, ward administrators, were very handy. They helped us a lot because they're the ones who are directly actually at the village level. Community will directly in contact with the chiefs. So these chiefs are like they're the ones who will convey the messages to the community. They'll be the one that will be understood. So they helped us in terms of mobilization and also bringing us the community members when we talk to, the collected data. And the last but not the least, the most important ones who played a major role at the community. Community members are very critical because the collective intelligence approach, the final product was to help the Monanchi, and that's the community. So they came in to give us information, to give us data, to give us facts concerning water issues in the region. They helped us. We used the focal group discussion. We used also community opinion leaders who came in to give us data, maybe even traditional ways of maybe accessing water, indigenous knowledge. They gave us all that information on issues related to water. Where are these water sources? How do we get water when there is no water? Which are the seasons that we have plenty of water? Which are the seasons that we don't have water? So all those things. So the community members. And the other thing also I wanted to say is that the community engagement was done perfectly, given that the communities were mobilized in turn by the county administration and also the national government administration. Mobilization was done perfectly. There was no hiccup or anything, and communities were willing to give information because the approach we used was more important and not top to bottom, but instead it was bottom to bottom. The other thing also I would want to say also, the CSOs, unless there's something I'm forgetting, apart from the county government and the national government, we also had the academic, the academicians or the water experts who came in, and I will let Professor to go on and introduce the academics. Professor Hill.
All right, thank you, Anna. At this point, I would want to invite Engineer Nanetia to cover the academia angle. Over to you, Nanetia.
Thank you, Victor. My name is Virginia Nanetia. I'm an engineer, a trainer, and a researcher at the Kenya Water Institute. I'm going to give you a glimpse or the perspective of what the academia brought into the collaborative development of the map. So mostly the academia brought in the technical inputs. In terms of talking about the technical input, we are able to bring in the technical expertise, both Kenya Water Institute and Pwani University. So we had the lecturers and the students who came in together. So they were able to bring their technical expertise based on the background from which they come in terms of training or studying. The second thing is they are able to demystify research and science into an aspect or a product that can be able to be consumed either by the county, by the local person, and by anybody who will be able to access the map. So also they were able to bring in different methodologies and approaches. So as we are trying to package the map into a product that can be used, so there were different methodologies that were contributed by the students and the lecturers. Also, there is an aspect of the hands-on support based on the fact that most of them had prior interaction with those tools, maybe the questionnaire, the Kobo Collect, the software, the GIS, the maps. So they were able to bring on the hands-on support, especially when we are doing the training and also when we are incorporating the data stewards. Also, there was an aspect of empowering the local communities. As we are developing the map, we had aspects of technology transfer. So a number of people, the stewards and other people who had no prior interaction with technology like the Kobo and GIS were able to get that during participation. There was a bit of training and knowledge dissemination during the focused group discussions. And also we were able to bring in the social, to be able to convert the social economic aspects of water and also the aspects of climate change. They took part in loading of the questionnaires into the ODK to develop the tool that we use to collect data. Recruitment and training of the community stewards was spearheaded by the lecturers from the academia. Also during the fieldwork, they took lead as they were able to guide the other people who had not done research prior, so they were able to guide them during the field work. And as we can see, that's a picture.
We've lost my network.
Have we lost Nanetia? Prof, can you come in?
Thank you. Just want to pick on from where Nanetia had reached, that the academia played a major role in the loading of the questionnaires in the ODK, guided the scouts in how to apply the ODK in data collection, and engaging in the community in extracting data from them through focus group discussion. The students who are on the forefront of this particular platform were being mentored by their lecturers from the two institutions to understand how to engage the community, gather the relevant data that would actually build the dynamic map. And in the course of engaging the community, the students were also able to gain knowledge from the community, indigenous knowledge on how the quality of water is treated locally, and be able to compare it with the scientific knowledge that they know. This particular platform played a big role in mentoring the students on how to gather the data, be able to summarize it, and load it to the dynamic map. Finally, I just want to say that the academia played a major role in cleaning the data that was gathered from the community to come up with relevant aspects that are very necessary for developing the dynamic map and development of the dashboard. This is an area that the lecturers were basically mentoring them, but not really being on the forefront. So students' research aspects were actually being strengthened to enable them to, in future, be able to engage in research and participate in development, more so in the field of data collection to improve the lives of the community.
Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you for saving the day. So that's Professor Hilda from Pwani University and Engineer Nanetia from Kenya Water Institute. So I want to quickly move on to the next segment. Actually, Prof, there was one thing that you ought to have mentioned on research outputs. So one is indigenous knowledge that was surfaced through this process that's being researched by Kenya Water Institute. So locally it's known as kukube. So this is a plant extract used for water purification. And also a good number of lecturers from Pwani University want to publish research papers from the vast data that was collected. Moving on to bridging the community gap. I started by mentioning Salim Doyo as a community data steward, and their role primarily is to bridge, that gap between, communities and higher order stakeholders, say the county and the national government. So we have Salim's peers here who will take us through, what does community data stewardship entail? What role do they play? What motivated them to be part of this process? And so I would want to invite Ismail, who will be leading this session. Ismail is a data steward from Tana River County. And he'll, coordinate his team in terms of just sharing a bit about on this issue of community data stewards. So over to you, Ismail.
Okay, thank you, Victor. My name's Ismail Molugutu. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening. I hope everyone is okay for wherever you are. My name's Ismail, and I am a data steward from Tana River County, and I participated in doing the water research, the water mapping, and I come from an area called Garsen South. Tana River is a very large county in Kenya, around 35,000 kilometers square. I come from an area called Garsen constituency, Garsen ward. The area is large, around 15,000 kilometers square. And we participated in the water mapping. We had an interview, all the scouts. Initially, at first, the UNDP wanted to recruit some youth called the Makals. Makal is a local name to indicate the local youth, the pastoralists who move around in search of water and pasture. And after the interview, we volunteered and decided to take part in the UNDP training on how to do water mapping. And I have with me my fellow data stewards. After we had a training at Pwani University for about 1 week, we went back to an area called Hola, the capital, the headquarters of Tana River County. We had a week of training, and we interacted with several people, the academia, the professions, the several stakeholders. And with me, I have, I think, Hassan. He will take us through some of the roles or the experiences that the data stewards had or what they had experienced. And I think my fellow will explain or expound more on that. Kindly, Hassan.
Hello. Thank you so much. I'm Hassan Ahmed Adan from Garseni Westwood, Tana Delta Sub-County, Tana River County. And during our training and during our carrying out the mapping of water sources, social amenities, and doing focus group discussion, we faced a number of challenges. That is, we had limited network connectivity. I myself, during the training, I went to the village called Lakole. So we had to collect the data, but we don't send it because of the network issue. Also, we face a problem of language barrier. I myself, during the mapping, I went to a village called Konkona, and people from that area only speak Orma language. So we could not converse, and I'm not well conversant with that Orma language. So I had to bring a translator in so that he can translate for me. So, and I was not sure what the translator was saying is what the respondent was saying. So, and that's bring about the inaccuracy of data. That was also delayed our time of collecting the data. Also, we had security issues. That is my colleagues from Kipini West and Kipini East. They faced security issues like that area is prone to Al-Shabaab, so they could not reach some areas. Another challenge is the transport issues. Here in Gerseni Westwood, some areas are very remote, and the roads are very poor, and we have limited transport, public transport. So those areas we cannot reach and cover them. Also, we have another problem that is the lack of awareness from the villagers. Now, during carrying out, when we were carrying out this activity, some of the villagers were not aware that this program was going on. So they were hesitant to give us the information. So we had to call the local administrators, those are the chiefs, so that they can call the headman, and the headman can explain the residents of that village. And fortunately, they were able to give us the information, but that delayed the process of carrying out the data. Over to you, Gutu.
Thank you, Hassan, for the great explanation. I think we have heard him. We have expounded on the hardships that he had faced. Several stewards, everyone, the area is too large. Everyone faced different kind of hardships, but due to time, we cannot expound on everyone's. But I have my fellow Nina Samantha here. She will take us through. Kindly, Nina.
Hello everyone. My name is Nina Samantha, Community Data Steward from Kinakomba Ward, Tana River County, Kenya. I'll be taking you through the roles of the Community Data Steward in the community. Our work was to ensure proper standards were in place, making data accessible and usable, ensuring data quality and accuracy, making sure the data was usable to the stakeholder. Also, we were acting as a link between the community and the stakeholders, updating status of the water resources available to the community each now and then. And right now, after the floods, we will go back to where the roads are impassive, and we'll go back to collect another data, which is not on the one that we have done. And then also, we train the community. Apart from being with them, asking them questions, we do train them on how to treat water, storage, and preservations of water. Thank you. Back to you, Ismail.
Thank you, Nina, for expounding well on the roles of the data stewards. The data steward played a very critical role in coming up with the work that I think now we are enjoying the fruits of. And I have my other fellow here, Sadia. Kindly, she will take us through. Saida Rashid, kindly.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Saida Rashid, a community data steward from Tana River County, Gerseni Westwood. Personally, there were a number of motivations that pushed me to be a data steward. Each one of them was the urge to work due to the idleness that I was going through at the moment when the project came first. Secondly, I wanted to gain more experience for my professional advantage in terms of field work. Since after school I was doing nothing, so it gave me an advantage of working on my skills, and also wanted to overcome the water challenges in Tana River, knowing fully well the problems we go through as a community. So it was a chance for me to work through with my community and see whatever advantage we'll have after the project. I also wanted to know and see the benefits of the project in terms of finding water solutions. Yeah. Another one is I knew that in every voluntary work, there must be benefits that comes with the work, not necessarily payment, but also skills and other things. But for me, at the time, I wanted some economic empowerment in the work. So that was one of the motivations that I had in mind. I also wanted to represent the community. For instance, there was this time we were collecting the data when we were on the hands-on exercise with the officials, and I was at Terra village. Yeah. So I went with some county officials working with the water department, and without being tribal, the people I went with were not of the tribe, from the Terra community members. So they were not ready to share any information concerning water. But I had to come in and talk to them in my language so that they could be free and see me as one of them, so that they could collaborate with us so that we can get the data required. I also wanted to be the voice of the community, where I could be a link between them and the authority involved. In case maybe we are collecting the data, yes, and there are questions, and there are those things that as a community, mostly during the FDGs, there were those questions that were directly directing them to the community. So there are the difficulties and the challenges they face as a community. So I was there. I wanted to be the link of whatever they have to say and communicate it to the authority that needs to hear it and act upon it. Thank you. Back to you, Ismail.
Okay, thank you. And with me here, I have
Maybe, Ismail, before we proceed, add something.
okay. I have only 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Maybe I can add to what my friend Saida, on top of what she has said. What also motivated me is this program was solving a critical social issue. So, and for me, I had to associate myself. I had to be part of this team so that we can solve this water crisis in Tana River County. And for me, doing that, it will bring a public positive image to me. So that motivated me also. Another one is the support environment that we got from the UNDP team. During the training, we were given funds so that we can collect this data, and that's motivating me as an individual. Thank you. Over to you, Gutu.
Thank you, Hassan, for the addition. And then I think time is not running on our side. We have my fellow Hassan Bakari. Kindly take us through.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hassan Mohamed Omar from Bultabarufa village. I'm representing Data Scout from Bultabarufa, Y Ward. So, firstly, I really thank the UNDP for selecting me to be part of Data Steward in my ward. Secondly, the project has really impacted us positively. During the mapping process, we really benefited individually. So the first is that we really gained the experience. That is the experience of technological skill, the how to collect the the data, how to fill the questionnaires in the ODK app. Yeah, so the second one is the collaboration and the networking. The project, in the project, we have different peoples and the stakeholders from the county levels and the academias from the KEWI and the Pwani University. We really interacted with them and we have shared with them a lot of experiences and really collaborated with them. So the third one is that we have gained the new skills. That is the skills I have already mentioned it in the collaboration. So the third one is availability of the opportunities. That is the leadership development. Some of us, we have really, the project have really helped us in terms of like how to represent our community, all those that, like for me, from my side, it has really helped me in terms of that I'm a university student. Yeah, I'm a university student, and after the project, I was been elected as a student leader here at the university, Taita Taveta University, the academic secretary position for the whole university. And I really appreciate UNDP for that. The confidence in presentation and cleaning of the data. That is during the cleaning of the data, it has helped me also to.
Thank you.
I will finalize it. So just a 1 minute. So it has really helped me. So thank you, UNDP. Santeni.
Thank you, Bakari. I think that's the end of our presentation. On behalf of the Data Steward Fraternity, I want to say thank you to UNDP for the job well done, and now the project is going to benefit our community. Personally, as a pastoralist member, and I want to say thank you to the county government for supporting us, for giving us the avenue, helping us, for example, the administration, the chiefs, the ward representative for giving us the humble time to work. And I want to say thank you. Thank you so much. Over to you, Victor.
Thank you so much, Ismail, for leading that session, and thank you to the data stewards as well for representing the 43 other, in total, who are not able to be part of this conversation. Moving on to the next segment. So, of course, the data stewards have done their job. They've collected lots of data. So this led to a platform. So we want to hear from the county GIS lead, who will take us through, what this product is all about, and some of the features. Over to you, Vincent.
Yes, hello everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, my name is Vincent Keri Nyamoya. I'm the county geospatial officer for Tana River County and also acting as a GIS expert for this project. So you've been hearing from our data scouts, they've been collecting data. So I'll just go a brief mention of this data we've been collecting. So one of the key data we are collecting is the water sources, and these were examples were water pans, boreholes, etc. For each type of these water sources, we were focus was made on attributes such as the implementing agency, the population needs in terms of households, how much livestock are utilizing the water source, whether we have animal influx from outside the community utilizing these water sources, what are the water uses in such facilities, what are the water characteristics in terms of salinity, color, etc., and the status of the water, issues of levels and capacity, accessibility issues, and the status of wash facilities around these water sources. So the other data they were collecting was through focal group discussion, which was being done at every village around the county, where we were trying to get an understanding of the water situation, focusing on issues such as indigenous, water identifiers and indicators, climate change issues, how is it affecting water, what are the main sources of water for these communities, their social activities in relation to water, and how they conduct management of water resources, and the intervention they see that is appropriate to be put in need to improve water supply in their communities. Also, some of the data they were collecting on social amenities, these were religious, education institution, and administrative offices. For this one, focus was made on the status of the social amenities, which were the available water resources present at the amenity, their status, the water adequacy at the facilities, what water challenges they are facing, and the intervention they need to be put in place. So other data they were collecting were on water corridors. These are areas that livestock use to access water. They're also collecting issues on landmarks, water tanks, water kiosks, etc. So after this process, after doing this data collection, all this data was coming to a server. And from this server, I was able to extract this data. And the next process was the data cleaning, which was a crucial steps, especially for GS-based data collection, where we want to ensure that we have accuracy, consistency, and reliability of this data. So this cleaning was help us to identify and correct errors, inconsistency, and inaccuracies in the data that has been collected. It also helping us to standardize and harmonize the data, making it consistent. It also enables us to identify and fill in where missing or incomplete data points, ensuring that the data set is complete and comprehensive. And by this process, it enables us to produce high quality analysis and insights. Also, the data cleaning was bringing out overall efficiency, because it reduces the time and effort we were using for correction of errors during the analysis process. So for coming to what is presented on your screen is the GIS dashboard, which is a visual representation of the geographic information system data and analysis that has been done, some of it. So typically, as you can see, it's a user-friendly interface for easy access and interpretation. It provides a centralized platform in which various users, stakeholders, county government can view, analyze, and interact with the spatial data in real time, allowing for quick decision-making and insights into various water issues. So from the map, you can see from the dashboard, you can see we have an interactive map there. We have charts, graphs, and other visualization that help various users understand complex spatial relationships and patterns. For example, you can see a graph displaying the number of boreholes and wells in terms of salinity and the implementing agency types. The boreholes and wells are also symbolized in the maps. If you get, I think at the end of this, there'll be a shareable link. You'll be seeing that they have been symbolized in the maps in terms of whether it's fresh or saline. There are also indicators showing a live count of the various types of water sources that these data stewards have been mapping. So when you are saying that this dashboard is interactive, the maps allow for zooming in and out. You can zoom in and out. You can pan around from one ward to another. You can identify specific features. If you click a borehole, you can able to get all the attribute data related to that borehole. You can also be able to see the media or the pictures of that particular water source. You can also query the underlying data by a specific indicators. It also allows for checking layers on and off. You can change the base maps, whether you want satellite imagery, whether you want a vector-based base map, you can do that. You can conduct a quick search, and it also has integrated links where you can access more information about this project details behind it. And also we have a story map, a gallery story map of this whole process. We have also that links attached in that dashboards. So what are the benefits of these GIS dashboards, in addition to what I'm saying for real-time monitoring of water quality, quantity, and usage? So the GIS dashboard will be able to provide an access to comprehensive data and analytics for water resource managers who can better plan for future water needs, identify potential risks, and develop effective strategies for sustainable water management. It also enhances communication and collaboration among various stakeholders, enabling them to share data, insights, and best practices for effective water resource management. It's also an effective tool for early warning system, because this dashboard will be integrating historical data and trends of the various water resources. You can identify potential water resource issues and provide early warning to the pastoralists and other stakeholders in terms of impending water shortages or other threats that are upcoming. The dashboard also promotes stakeholder engagement, where various stakeholders such as the local communities, the various NGOs we have within the Tana River County, various businesses and government agencies in water resource management efforts. You can also fostering transparency because everyone can see the data. It also foster accountability and participation in decision-making processes. So lastly, it provides cost-effective solutions because these are data-driven. It provides data-driven insights, which helps organizations to reduce costs associated with water treatment, distribution, infrastructure maintenance, and terms of water tracking to areas that have water scarcity. And finally, the dashboard provides for resilience and sustainability by supporting resilient and sustainable water management strategies, helping organizations adapt to the changing environmental conditions, population growth, and other challenges. So that's all I have from my side. And back to you, Victor.
Thank you very much, Vincent, for that elaborate description of the output. So without further delay, I want to move on to the next presenter. You know, data is as good as its use. So how has this data that we've collected, how has it been used? So Engineer Mumba from the county water director will give us an overview, a brief overview of how they've managed to use this data so far. Over to you, Engineer Mumba.
Thank you so much, Victor. Good afternoon to my colleagues in Kenya. Good morning and good evening for the rest of our colleagues across the world. So basically, there were 5 fundamental issues we are looking at when we are doing the mapping. As a department, we are looking at water availability, we are looking at water quality, access and distribution across the county, ownership of those projects which are done at the community level, and then on the top of the list is actually sustainability. That is why we wanted to do mapping, and of course, after the mapping, we look at all those issues, whether or not we are within that, because that's what our mandate is. Basically, the map has been so helpful for our county. One, it is actually used for resource mobilization, meaning we are now able to look at which areas of the county have project and the others have no project. So it really assists us on allocating some resources, because we know most of the areas are already have a lot of projects. The second thing we normally use for this map is planning and development. We cannot plan without having such a map for decision making, because we know we have a vast county, and of course, for us to make sure every part of the county has been has some projects, then we use the map for such things. The other thing is environmental management. Environmental management, because when we went around, we mapped out all those projects which are not well protected and all that. So we are using it as a tool of making sure that all those projects are environmentally managed. And then we are also using it for emergency response and early warning system. I think Vincent have mentioned about that, and as a county and through the Department of Special Program, we are at par, because we know where it really pinches across the county, and we are using this as a tool. We also use it as an educational and awareness tool, because we wanted even the academia, the students and all that to do a lot of research from this map. So it's valuable at the county. Anybody who wants to research more on that, he can come, we have the data and all that. The other thing is policy development. I want to say that when we are doing our Water Act for this county, we referred a lot from this, and many people, many organizations are using it for similar uses, and that is why now we are proud of the map. The other thing is improved water sources. We want to make sure that at least community members have actually accurate data, updated data. That is why now the data scouts comes in to update us on what is happening across the county in form of information. And then the other thing is water quality. We have one of the organization that is KEWI, Kenya Water Institute. We're doing a lot of research on some of the things we saw during the mapping exercise. That is the kukube tree. So the community were using that as a chemical for water purification. So we want to do that. We want to do that research to make sure that we get the right information on that. Probably maybe it has a side effect. So we are using that as a tool for coming up with that. And then the other thing is community engagement and decision making during the public participation for coming up with some project for our annual development plans and the county integrated development plans. We used a lot of reference to the map because we knew the communities are well aware of what was done by all of us stakeholders and the community scouts. And then the other thing is academic and research. I think I've mentioned that. So that is what we wanted to talk about as a county. And of course, as a department, I think because of the time, we can maybe give an opportunity to one of our group members before we finish. Back to you, Victor.
Yeah,
Victor,
thank you, engineer. We are running out of time, but yeah, thank you, engineer. In the interest of time, I think we will move on to the next segment, and I'm hoping questions have been coming through the chat because there are a number of colleagues who can respond to the questions. And so at this particular point, I would want to hand it over to Lillian to lead the segment on Q&A. Lillian, over to you.
All right, thank you, Victor, and thank you to everyone who has shared. My name is Lillian Jora. I work with UNDP team. I see so far we have one question from Aswini in the Q&A who asked, how did you overcome challenges with community in sustaining the project? Perhaps Engineer Felix can come in and give us a response on this. How did you overcome challenges with community in sustaining the project?
Okay, thank you so much, Lillian. I think that brings us to the point of the sustainability of water resources. The government of Kenya over time have been losing a lot of projects at the community level. And I think it was an opportunity for us to go back to the community so that now we can work with them, so that now we can have the ownership. They can own those water projects. So we really had a lot of talk. We really have had a lot of awareness creation because you know the community members are normally they have varying issues at the community level. So we were able to sit with them. We were able to talk with them with their local language so that now they could understand what the government wants to do there. So as at now, they already know that any projects which is implemented down there, be it being managed probably by water service providers or at the community level, because we have a duty to empower the communities, giving them projects to run, and economically they're empowered, that they know these projects are under the county government, and of course that interaction with all the stakeholders involving their own people, talking with their own language, really solved so many issues, especially now the issue of community members on issues of sustainability of water project and all that. I don't know whether I have answered that. Back to you, Lillian.
Thank you so much. So I think that's the question that we received. In case you would like to keep the conversation going, please feel free to connect with us via email. We're happy to connect you with any of the speakers or institutions that have been participating in this call. So as we move to the next slide, thank you so much to everyone who has joined this webinar. We've appreciated having you here with us. There are a few links that I've shared in the chat for those who would be interested to find out more about this work and get into more details. I've also shared the link to the dashboard. So Victor, if we could move to the next slide. So yeah, I think at this point, we can end at this point. So thank you so much to everyone who has joined. Enjoy the rest of your day, and again, please feel free to connect with us if you'd like to discuss more about this work.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Victor will play a short video that gives a bit of details. So if you'd like to stick around for 2 minutes, you can check out this video.
Give me a minute. Some technical challenges aside, but I'm resolving it.
In my area, we have some salty water, and through the UNDP program, I visited some areas that didn't have water at all. Some areas, people envy others with green water because they didn't have any. So they were envious of those who had green water.
A desk is a dangerous place to cases. You have people designing some of these projects without just doing the necessary engagement with communities, and in most instances, the solutions lie out there.
Welcome to Ramani, a podcast series produced by the UNDP Accelerator Lab in Kenya. In this podcast, we describe a unique project in the Tana River County in Kenya. The search for water in Tana River County is constant, a testament to the challenges posed by climate change to this fragile ecosystem along Kenya's longest river. The title Ramani is the Swahili word for map and describes the collaborative mapping of water resources in the county, giving the people better tools to manage this precious resource.
Collective intelligence is a process of using knowledge from different areas of expertise, bringing it together and using it to solve a problem which is at hand. For example, in saying all this is bringing in experts, bringing in technical officers, bringing in community levels. These people have different levels of understanding of different issues.
In this podcast, you will hear from diverse guests from the community, civil society, government, and academia as they describe how the collective intelligence approach was used and what was learned from this process. Special thanks to all the partners involved for their collaboration on this project. You can listen and subscribe to this podcast on SoundCloud, YouTube, or wherever else you get your podcast.
UNDP has done what they have done. This is our baby. They have digitized the system. We have the map with us. Now it is us to utilize this product. It is us to utilize the map to make informed decisions so that we can help our communities effectively.
All right, thank you everyone, and goodbye.
Bye.